Did you see the reporting on Tom Homan accepting? Okay.
We have to act fast. One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty. They give you 97% bad publicity or whatever it is, some ridiculous number. Yeah, I would say that would be ground.
Okay, a bunch of stories have been breaking this weekend. There's tons of new corruption being uncovered within the Trump administration, failures and shortcomings as well. And I have a few clips lined up of Trump himself being asked about this, speaking about it. So leave us a like on the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, gives us a boost. And we're going to jump into all of this with our fact checks ready.
No, I just want people to act. They have to act. And we want to act fast. You know, they were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal. And we have to act fast. One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty. They're not guilty. We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
This comes after Trump posted and then deleted a call out to Pam Bondi to swiftly arrest and charge his political enemies, naming Adam Schiff, Letitia James, and James Comey, among others, where again, we now have the president directly, publicly calling for the DOJ to go after his political enemies with little to no grounds to do so. The investigations into these people have came out with nothing. That's why they've been stalled. Yet here he is trying to resurrect them, and no outcry from MAGA, who pretended to care so much about this, that it was going to take us to a banana republic. Right now, they either don't care or they're cheering it on, or they're like, well, Democrats brought it on themselves, doing literally like they did the every accusation is a confession, and then they're trying to use that to justify them not caring when their own side does it. That is the level of intelligence MAGA is at. It gives the game away to anyone with common sense or an 80 or higher IQ, which, I mean, I do understand this and why they feel this way. Any admission would show how completely stupid and brainwashed and unserious they are politically, as it's obvious to literally everyone now that Donald Trump and Republicans were never targeted. They just actually did crimes, as Trump is right now showing what actual targeting of political enemies, actual weaponization of the DOJ looks like. And there's not a comparable action from Biden any of these clowns could point to.
Did you see the reporting on Tom Homan accepting? Okay.
I mean, he's literally panicking to shut the question down before she even gets it out, because he knows it is another insane, indefensible bit of corruption that MAGA is just going to hand wipe away as they pretend Biden was corrupt. But again, no comparable action that these little cry bullies can ever point out. They have Tom Homan on video accepting $50,000 in bribes from undercover FBI agents as he promises to give them contracting jobs if Trump wins. I mean, that alone is insane, right? That is insane in and of itself, that this is a guy that Trump didn't put in his cabinet. But the FBI, as they normally do with things like this, which gets crazier, was waiting until this year to see if he would act on it, as obviously that charge sticks a lot better than a bribery or conspiracy does. And Donald Trump went in and shut down the investigation. Like, I mean, it just doesn't get more clear and corrupt than this, because like, if you don't investigate corruption, then there's no corruption, right? I'll say this. I love this cabinet for one thing. They are proving how useful DEI is. These MAGA clowns can never indict DEI again, as Trump destroyed DEI, ridded it from the cabinet of Biden's DEI cabinet, and appointed a historically non-diverse cabinet. And we see ineptitude after ineptitude, corrupt act after corrupt act, our economy being destroyed, inflation rising, immigration failures. MAGA will never recover from this, especially given the fact they have to run a dog shit religious candidate like JD Vance in 2028. Like, thank you guys.
You don't like the grounds for losing a broadcast license?
Well, I think when a network is dishonest, certainly if they are dishonest because they give you 97% bad publicity or whatever it is, some ridiculous number, yeah, I would say that would be ground zero.
So are you asking
That's hilarious to me that he's trying to go with the honesty route. Like, okay, Fox News lost the biggest defamation lawsuit in American history for repeating Trump's disproven 2020 election lies, knowing they were false when they shared them, yet Trump hasn't said a single thing about Fox or them losing their license. It's almost like that would hurt the narrative, and all Trump cares about is doing the left media lies narrative, because when they talk about mainstream media, what they mean really is media that's not favorable to Trump. Again, Tim Pool, literally paid by Russia to lie, also spread 2020 election lies, And yet you let Tim Pool in the White House to ask questions. AP can't come in the White House, but Tim Pool, Russian stooge, can. Make that make sense. And I can go on. Like the list, literally endless. But like, let's also just marvel in the fact that the president is here on camera saying that if a media company reports 97% negative on him, that's grounds enough for them to lose their license. Does that sound like free speech to anyone? Democrats should run this on repeat in the midterms. Like, these clowns do not care about free speech. They elected an authoritarian fascist who does not care about free speech. This is free speech that Trump agrees with, free speech within the MAGA limits, but how free is the speech that Trump doesn't agree with, right? How free is the speech for the media companies who do report 97% negative on Trump? Another thing is, if he does 97% negative things, isn't there a onus on the media companies to report 97% negative on him? Also, complete bullshit that any media station reports 97% negative on him, because all of them in different ways carry water for normalizing his insane behavior, something that these MAGA clowns cannot cope with, because for some reason they're like one of the last things of victimhood they feel like they can hold on to is that mainstream media is against them, when we all know Republicans control narratives in this country. Like, one, most people don't even watch mainstream media anymore, but they have the largest mainstream media station, Fox News. They have overwhelmingly larger reach on the internet, on digital platforms like Daily Wire, like Benny Johnson, Charlie Kirk was up there. But if you just look at the layers of people, you go through like 5 or 6 conservative platforms before you get to, I think like David Pakman is our biggest, or maybe the Young Turks. Like, but those are like 2-3 million. And you have multiple people in the Daily Wire who have like 10 million, 5 million plus. You have like Dave Rubin, like all of these people. And then you have local radio, of which I think it's Nexstar, and then Sinclair literally owns like 95% of local radio, of which lean heavily conservative. But yeah, guys, the Democrats control narratives because they have CNN and MSNBC stations that have been losing ratings for 20 fucking years. Like, somebody tell these clowns that you can't play victim when you literally hold all the power. Like, please stop. You're embarrassing yourselves.